Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another week in Web3. So let's jump into it. Week 30. This week we have four stories. Utopia making business easier for crypto native companies. The Great Migration from Emblem Vault. We find out who the next artist is for the Avant Art drops. And then the British Museum joins the metaverse. All right, for those not familiar with Utopia, Utopia is a company that handles usually a lot of DAOs and just making crypto native companies or organizations. It makes the facilitating of that a lot easier. So they recently just came up with an off ramp system to make it easier for crypto native businesses to make payments in USD or in some other fiat. So essentially, you can pay your vendors with USDC or any stablecoin, and then it will get converted automatically to USD or the fiat of choice. So it just makes it easier for you to kind of off ramp and get your money converted back, to fiat or regular money. This will, it went kind of under the radar, but it will make small businesses really happy, or anyone that has a business that is thinking about accepting crypto payments or is crypto payments native. So like, let's say you do your fundraising in crypto, it's just one less thing to think about now, and you can kind of continue just focusing on your business. Top story number two, for those familiar with Emblem Vault, it's like the tool that's being used for rare pepes. So for those not familiar with rare pepes, they're in XCP or cross-chain native NFTs. They're like the first NFTs that were ever created before Ethereum. So Emblem Vault, basically what it does is it creates a shell, an Ethereum shell, where you can kind of send assets to it. They also support other crypto as well, like Tezos and others. The biggest collection really in XCP or cross-chain is fake rares or fake rare Pepe cards. This one right here was one of the first ones, the Nakamoto card. Pretty expensive piece if you try to acquire. It's about like 50 ETH or something crazy now. Anyways, Emblem Ball is the system that makes it so you could trade these not native Ethereum assets on Ethereum with through this like wrap or this shell. But if you've ever gone into Emblem Vault looking for fake rare pepes, there really isn't a way to like select, the certain collections, the big collections that are inside of Emblem Vault. So they are doing a mass migration where they're moving everything from the old architecture to the new architecture. So now it will be easier to find your fake rares. Could make it so that people that were hesitant to buy will now buy fake rares. So yeah, looking forward to kind of this massive migration of all the assets that are already there. You don't really have to do anything, and if you own fake rares, they will be in their own little mini collection inside of it. So yeah, it's gonna be a better user experience for anybody that deals with cross-chain assets. All right. So Avant Art, they've been working on with Cosimo Medici. They've been working on dropping physical NFTs. That's the current meta that's happening in Web3 right now, which is artists are making physical assets along with the NFT. We just found out that the next artist is Rip Cash, or Rip Cache, however you want to call it. Big fan of Rip Cash personally. Does a lot of on-chain stuff, which I love. This is Rip Cash's last physical asset that he made. It wasn't with Avant Art, but it was through Transient Labs. Pretty epic piece that was done on a big like sheet of metal essentially. And then you had the choice of revealing the seed phrase so you can get the NFT asset itself. So you would have both the NFT and the physical asset on your wall. So just really looking forward to this drop as well, as it includes an NFT and a physical asset. So definitely a 100% a must call for me. Not financial advice though. Our fourth story is the British Museum joins the metaverse through Sandbox. Sandbox is like a Web3 plot of land digital sandbox is the best way to describe it. So why is this a big deal? So for those don't know, British Museum is one of the oldest museums in the world. Probably one of the first. It has a wide collection. It's free, which is pretty crazy, and it's just a good steward of art, history, culture. Say what you want to say about the British, but they're definitely getting this part right. So it's pretty epic that the British Museum is getting involved on this. So yeah, looking forward to it, and definitely a good scoop for the Sandbox team. Moving on to the notable sales. Definitely a lot of big PFP action that's been going down this whole week. I tend not to focus too much on the PFP side. So we had a bunch of Azuki spirits trade, for 60, 50 ETH plus. So just for those that are at the PFPs, maybe I'll cover that. Let me know in the comments if you want me to start covering PFPs. But on the Gen Art side, it was a big week for Gen Art. We had some crazy motherfucker who basically for 112 ETH bought 6 squiggles, and not just 6 squiggles, Some of them are slinkies, some of them are the fuzzies, some of them are the ribs. For those familiar with the squiggles, it's the more limited ones. I'm personally a fan of the fuzzies. Definitely Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, love it. Ringers, Dimitri, he's been on fire ever since the goose sold for a shit ton of money. So we had a nice little 30 ETH ringer sale, which was nice to see. So good week in Gen Art this past week. On the horizon, again, sticking with the Gen Art. For those that don't know, squiggles are still actually minting. So when Snowfro, the creator of art blocks and squiggles as a whole, was making and minting squiggles, it's a collection of about, I think, 10,000 Gen Art pieces. He stopped about 150 short, if I remember correctly, and he's been slowly minting more and more, like the remaining last amount, and giving them away to community members or airdropping it to people. So just it's been awesome. We don't have many white ghost rib squiggles, and this is an example of a white ghost rib. There was 3 previous ones, and one was recently minted, which is pretty crazy. So that's the 4th one in total. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. We got about 75 more new mints to go. Looking forward to seeing what else comes off, and then then squiggles will be done minting, and that'll be a nice little story there as well. Cool. Well, thanks again for joining this past week in Web3. Like and subscribe, comment. Let me know if you want me to change the presentation or anything else. Thanks. Take care.